Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. It's been a while, but we're back today with another beautiful pattern from Aurora. Thank you very much, Aurora, for allowing us to do a tutorial for your beautiful square. The link for Aurora's pattern and her other lovely things that she's done is in the description below, so check that out for a link to her patterns. There is also timestamps in the description as well, so if you want to skip to a particular round, then you can go ahead and do that. The pattern doesn't actually state colour changes in it, if you have that on hand, and there aren't actually colour changes stated in it, but the picture in the pattern does show the having two colours, so I decided to go along with that so I can show you that today. So you can do it in one colour as well if you like. That looks equally stunning. So grab your yarn, your hook and scissors, and let's get started. So taking our first colour, we are going to make our slip knot as usual, and then chain four, and then in the fourth chain from the hook, so this very first one you made, we're going to make 9 double crochet, 9 double crochet. Five, now if your chain becomes big like mine has, don't worry, just pull that end in, and your first 3 chains are counting as your first double crochet. So we're going to slip stitch into the top chain there, and you now have 10 double crochet for your first round. Round 2, we're going to chain 3. This counts as a double crochet. In this round and in all the other rounds, the first chain 3 will act as a double crochet. Okay, we're going to make a double crochet in that same place, so in that top chain that we did the slip stitch into. And then a very simple round, we're going to do 2 double crochet into each of these remaining 9 stitches. So 2 double crochet into each, meaning you will end up with 20 stitches all together. So I will meet you at the end of this round. Stitches there, and we're going to slip stitch into the top of the chain 3 just as we did last time. Slip stitch into there, and you've now got a little circle. So on to round 3. Round 3, we are going to start making the points of our star. So to start with, this is not going to be the repeat, but to start with, we're going to chain 2, and then we're going to do a double crochet 3 together over these next 3 stitches. So as if you're making a double crochet, go into the next stitch, and that's the next stitch, not the top of this chain 3. So into there and do a partial double crochet, so you're leaving that loop on the hook. And then we're going to do the same in the next stitch, pull through 2 and leave the loop on the hook, and then into the third stitch. Leave that loop on the hook, so you've now got 4 loops, yarn over and pull through all 4. And you can see you've got a nice little point there. So now we're going to chain 7. Chain 7. And now this is where our repeat starts, it's the chain 7, and we're going to do a cluster now, which essentially is double crochet 4 together. So our chain 2 counted as one of those in this point, but this time now we're going to do it over 4 stitches, so essentially a double crochet 4 together. So go into the next stitch, do a partial double crochet, leaving the loop on the hook, and then into the next one, start your double crochet, leave the loop on the hook, and then into the 3rd stitch, and then into the 4th stitch. So you've now got 5 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through all 5 loops, and you can see there you've got a point just as we have here. So I'll show you that once more. Chain 7, and then the next 4 stitches partial double crochets to do your cluster of 4 double crochets together. Okay, so that's 1, into the second one, just pull those through those first 2 loops and then stop, and then into the 3rd stitch, pull through and stop, and then into the 4th stitch, pull through and stop. You've got 5 loops on your hook altogether, yarn over and pull through all 5, and then you're going to do your chain 7 again, and then you'll do your next cluster, chain 7, next cluster, finish with a chain 7, and then I'll meet you at the end to do the joining slip stitch. So you'll have 5 points and 5 chain 7s when you've finished. Here we go. If I lay this down, you can see I have 5 points and I've got 5 chain 7s, but we need to join this, so we're going to go into the top of the first point. Now if you look, it's not here, this is where you did your first chain after the cluster. So if you look down here, you can see you're starting chain 2, and then you've got this here, which is the top of your point. So you've got your chain 2 that you started with, and then here you've got your stitch where you pulled through. So go into there and make a slip stitch, and there is your round 3, your star completed. So round 4, I apologise for my croakiness today. I've been trying to drink lots but still slightly croaky, so apologies for that. Hopefully you can hear me and understand okay. So round 4, we are going to slip stitch into our first chain 7 space. Okay, and we're going to chain 1, which doesn't count as anything, but it gets us started ready for our single crochet. So now we're going to do 2 single crochets around this chain 7. So 1 and 2 single crochet, and then we're going to do a front post treble crochet around this double crochet right beneath where we are. So where these two points meet at the bottom, we're going to do a front post treble around that double crochet there. Okay, so yarn over twice, go in to the right hand side of your stitch, bring your hook out at the other side. So you've now got this stitch at the front, making it a front post. Then yarn over and pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2, and that's your front post treble now sitting right between your 2 points. Okay, so then you're going to do another 2 single crochets around your chain 7. So we've got 2 this side, and we're going to put 2 in this side. There we go. Okay, so then we are going to chain 3. We're going to skip this point here, and into the next chain 7 we're going to do exactly what we've just done by single crocheting 2 stitches. Okay, 2 single crochet, and then again we're going to do a front post treble crochet around the stitch that's directly beneath, so in between these 2 points. So yarn over twice, go into the right hand side, come out at the other side, oops, without catching any yarn from any other stitches. So go into, oops, in there and out the other side, pushing that post to the front, and then do your treble crochet just as you normally would, just like so. And then you're going to do 2 single crochet in this other side of the chain 7, and then chain 3. Okay, so you're going to do that all the way around. So you've done your chain 3, and now you're going to do 2 single crochet in this chain 7, 2 single crochet, then your front post treble, and then another 2 single crochet and chain 3. Just rewind the video about 3 minutes if you need to watch a recap. But you're going to do that all the way around, finishing with your chain 3, and I will meet you back to do the slip stitch joining. I'll see you soon. There we go, I've done all of my stitches. I've done my last chain 3, and now I'm going to join with a slip stitch into my first single crochet. So not the chain 1, but the first single crochet. Just going to do a slip stitch into there to finish the round. There we go. So once again, it's still curling up, but don't worry about that. It will come good once we've done the rest of the square. Okay, round 5. Now this is the round where if you want to follow the colour changes as per the picture in the pattern and the file, this is the round that you need to do it. If you're keeping the same colour, then you just continue as you are. Now it does say in the file a suggested way of carrying your colour up the rounds. Now I will admit that I don't have the brain function today to do that. I tried and I had to undo a lot because I just got in a bit of a muddle with it. It's really simple generally, but I just got in a bit of a muddle with it, being honest with you there. So I'm actually going to fasten off every row. It will give me more ends to sew in, but that's fine. I'll just do it when I'm watching the TV. So that's fine. If you wish to carry it up, then have a look in the file and see what it says in there for how to do it, and follow along with that. Okay, but this is the round for changing if you wish. So all I'm going to do is join my yarn in that same stitch that we slip stitched into. Nothing fancy at all, just joining it in there and tying it. There's so many ways you can join yarn, but that's just how I'm doing it today. Okay, it's just sometimes you just need to make life a little easier for yourself. And what's a few ends of yarn? So what we're going to do is chain 3 and then double crochet in each stitch around. Nice simple round, this one. So double crochet in each stitch until you get to the chain space, and then in the chain space we're going to do 4 double crochets, 4 double crochets in that space, working over the chain. One more, and then you're going to continue that all the way around, 1 double crochet in each stitch and 4 in the space until you get to the end, and then you're only going to make 3 in the last chain space, which will bring the count to 44 stitches. Okay, counting this first chain as a stitch, so 1 in each stitch, 4 in the chains, 3 in the end one. I will meet you back around here to just remind you in case you've forgotten. Okay, so I'll see you in a mo. So this is just me back to remind you that the last chain 3 space, you're only making 3 stitches into that, not 4. and then your stitch count will be 44 at the end of that round. That's why we've only done 3 here, because we are going to have 4 sides. So 44 gives us a good stitch count for that. That's why we're leaving one out on that last chain space. So just slip stitch into the top of your chain as usual, and there we go. So round 6, we are continuing with the same colour this time, so continuing with the white, whatever colour you've just used. Now for this round, it does actually say in the pattern to loosely slip stitch over the next 4 stitches, okay, and then we would work into that 4th stitch. But I personally don't like working into slip stitches, even though it does say to work loosely. So I'm going to just change how the pattern is worded for this particular round, because all we would do is we would start with our corner here, and it is often easier to start with your corner, I would admit, but these stitches are only going to be double crochets. So for me, it's easier to just do my double crochets instead of slip stitching. Okay, so I'm going to do double crochets. It does not affect the pattern at all. The only difference is that you'll have your chain 3 coming on top of your chain 3 rather than over here and hiding a bit more in the corner. You can't hide it quite as much out in the middle, but for me, I just think that it fades in, so that's what I'm going to do. If you prefer, you can wait until we get to this stitch here and make the corner, and you can slip stitch over these 4 stitches. Okay, but I'm going to chain 3 as my first double crochet, and then I'm going to double crochet in the next 3 stitches. Okay, and this means we're just not doing them when we get round to the end, so no biggie, just changing up when we make them. I'm making them at the start rather than at the end. Okay, so then in this next stitch, so you should have your chain 3 stitches, and then this next one we're going to make our corner. So we're going to do 2 double crochet, chain 2 and 2 double crochet, and this will be how we make our corners all the time. Sometimes if we make them at the start, we will be doing a chain 3 and then a double crochet rather than 2 double crochets. Okay, and then we are going to make 10 double crochets around our work. So 10 double crochets, 1 in each of the next 10. It's 8, 9, 10. Just double check. 10. Excellent. Then in the next stitch, you're going to do your corner. 2 double crochet, chain 2 and 2 double crochet, all in the same stitch. This round is so simple, because then you're going to do 10 more double crochet, and then the corner in the next stitch, 10 double crochet, corner in the next stitch, and then on this side you're only going to do 6, because then you've got 4 here and that makes your 10. Okay, and we're going to join into the top of the chain 3. So I will see you at the end of this round. At the end of this round you should have 56 stitches. I'll see you at the end. There we go, at the end of round 6. You can just pop your fingers in the corners and stretch it out a bit, make it a little bit more square. There we go. So this is the only difference, is that we've got that chain 3 on top of the other chain 3, which really doesn't show too much. Normally it would be in this corner here. So We're going to move on to round 7. We're going to change colour for this round if you want to change colour. So I'm going to just fasten this off, and then I am going to start the purple into the corner so that it is starting in the corner then. So I'm going to join my purple in this corner space, okay? So we are going to be starting in that corner. If you are using all one colour for this pattern, then as much as I said I don't really like working into slip stitches, I would suggest to you that you do work over to here because it's just easier to follow with what I'm doing in the video. So I suggest you do that, and we all start in the corner together. Or you could fasten off and then rejoin your same colour in the corner rather than doing slip stitches. And you'd only have one extra end, because then we will be starting in the corner for every round to come. So you'll just have that one join, one extra end for starting there. Okay, so I hope that's clear. We're all going to be starting in the corner on the next round. Okay then, round 7. Starting in the corner, we are going to chain 3 as a double crochet. Then we're going to put a double crochet in there, chain 2 and 2 double crochet, all in that space. And that's how we're going to do all the corners. Then we're going to double crochet in 5 stitches along. Okay, 5 double crochets along. Don't miss this first one, which can sometimes hide with our corner. Make sure you get that one. And do 5 double crochets. Okay, the next one, we're going to do a front post double crochet. So just as we did the treble crochet down here, we're going to go in, behind and through to the front, bringing that post to the front, and finish your double crochet. Okay, and then the next thing we're going to do is a back cross stitch, as it's called in the pattern, a back cross stitch. So we're going to skip a stitch, and then we're going to work a double crochet into the next stitch, and then we're going to do a stitch behind this. We're going to cross behind and work into the skipped stitch. So what we're going to do is yarn over, go behind, and I like to bring my hook through and use the actual hook part to get the top of that stitch and go in to the back. So you can see I'm now through the stitch, and then complete my double crochet as normal. So these 2 stitches have crossed over, making a bit of an X there. Where am I? Here we go, making an X. Okay, and then we're going to do a front post double crochet around the next stitch. I will show you that back cross stitch again, so just wait a mo, and I will show you it again when we come round to it. So then we're going to do 5 more double crochet along, which takes us to our corner. Okay, so then the corner is the 2 double crochet, chain 2 and 2 double crochet. Okay, now this next side is going to be slightly different. Well, it's going to be very different to this side. We're going to do a double crochet in 4 stitches. Okay, just 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3 and 4. And then we're going to do a front post double crochet around the next stitch, a normal double crochet in the next, and then in the next double crochet we're going to do a popcorn, and that's 5 double crochet popcorn. So what we're going to do first of all, if you've never done a popcorn, is 5 double crochets all in the next stitch. Okay, 5 double crochets all in the next stitch. Okay, and then just pull up the loop slightly, take your hook out, and then pop your hook back in the first stitch. If you need to count them, count back, that's fine. Pop your hook into the first stitch, pop the loop back on your hook and tighten, and then you're going to pull through that first stitch. Okay, and that makes you this little popcorn stitch, which hopefully you can see the texture there. Okay, there we go. So now we're going to do the reverse of what we've done here on this side. So we are going to do a double crochet in the next stitch, a front post double crochet around the next stitch, and then we're going to double crochet in the next 5 stitches. It's 5 stitches, not 4. They're not quite symmetrical, but that's what we're doing. Okay, so there we go. So we had 4 stitches, then our front post, then another double crochet, and then our 5 double crochet popcorn, then another stitch, then our front post, and then 5 stitches. Okay, and then we're going to do our corner, which is exactly as before. 2 double crochet, chain 2 and 2 double crochet. Okay, so now we are on to the other side, which is the same as our first side. Okay, so I will quickly go over that with you, because I know this could be tricky being the first round that we've done these kind of stitches. Okay, so 5 double crochets. And then a front post double crochet. Make sure you're doing it around the next stitch and not the one you've just done. I nearly did it here, but I can see the stitches coming out of there. So do the next one, front post. And then we're going to do that crossed back stitch. So I will show you that again. Oops. So yarn over for your double crochet, skip a stitch, go into the next stitch and do your double crochet. And then yarn over, come behind the stitch with your hook, pop your hook into the skipped stitch. That's a bit of a tongue twister. Pop your hook into there and then continue your stitch behind. Okay, there we go. And then we're going to do a front post double crochet around the next stitch. My yarn's getting caught on something. Frustrating. Okay, and then we're going to do 5 more double crochets to finish the side. And then you're at your corner, so you know what to do there. 2 double crochet, chain 2 and 2 double crochet, just like so. Okay, so now we're on to our last side. So that's going to be the same as this side here that we did with the popcorn. So we are going to double crochet into 4 stitches. Oops. 4 stitches, and then we're going to do a front post double crochet around the next stitch, then a double crochet, and then we're going to do a popcorn in the next stitch. So 5 double crochets in that stitch. pop your hook out, pull up a loop, put your hook into the first stitch. Make sure it's the first stitch of your popcorn and not the stitch next door. Gosh, not getting my words out properly today. And then pull through that first stitch. There we go. You got your popcorn. And then we're going to do a double crochet in the next stitch. So we've done our popcorn double crochet, and then we're going to do a front post around the next stitch, and that's where we had our chain 3. So front post double crochet around there, and then we're going to do a double crochet in each of our last 5 stitches. Okay. And then you're going to slip stitch to the top of your chain 3, just as usual. There we go. And that is our round 7. Looking lovely. Round 8, we are starting in the corner. So I've fastened off my purple, and I'm just joining my white into the corner. So if you're keeping the same colour, you may wish to just do some loose slip stitch over to your corner, just over to that one stitch, and then the corner. Do a slip stitch. Okay, round 8. We are going to start by doing a corner. Chain 3, double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet. And then we're going to double crochet in 7 stitches. Don't forget your one right near the corner, so 7 double crochets. Oops. I've lost count now. That happened. Let me see. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One more. Okay. So when we've done those 7, the next stitch is that front post that we did. So we're going to do a front post around that same front post. Front post double crochet. And then we're going to do a back cross stitch over the top of this previous back cross stitch. So the front post is over the front post, the cross stitch is over the same cross stitch. Okay, so easy to remember. So we're going to go skip the first one and go do a double crochet into the second stitch there, and then we're going to do a double crochet round the back, coming through into that skipped stitch. Okay, and then we're going to do a front post around the next front post. I'm sure you guessed that was coming. And then double crochet in the next 7 stitches. It's nice that we have those markers there for the front post and the cross stitch, that we're doing them directly above. Okay, so this is taking us to the corner. So then do your corner of 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet. Now for this popcorn side, we are going to double crochet in 6 stitches. Double crochet in 6 stitches. 1, okay, and then we're going to do a front post double crochet around the previous front post. So again, we've got that marker of where that stitch is. So do a front post around there, and then we're going to double crochet in the next 3 stitches. So that's the double crochet, 1 into there, and I'm going to do 1 into the top of the popcorn stitch, which you can see is just here to the right of the popcorn. So 1 in there, and then 1 in the next double crochet. So no popcorns in this round, okay? Then we are going to do a front post around the next stitch, which is the front post. And then we're going to double crochet in the next 7 stitches, taking us to the corner. And then you're going to repeat the side with the back cross stitch, and then you're going to repeat the side where the popcorn is, but no popcorn this round. So if you rewind about 5 minutes or use the timestamp in the description, then you can follow along to do this side and this side to copy that on here. Okay, and then you're going to slip stitch to the top of your chain 3 here, just as we normally do. Okay, and then we will be changing colour for the next round and starting in the corner. Okay, so get yourself prepared for that, and I'll see you in a moment. There we go, there's the end of round 8. Looking lovely.